Hey, puppy dog. Walkies? Hey? Not yet?
Wow, pretty specky. It's 6:30, we're up early. We're trying to beat the crowds to take Marley for a run on the beach this morning, and Josh spotted this little beach yesterday, but it was packed with people, and this morning we'll have it all to ourselves, so doesn't look like there's any other stray dogs here, so should be good.
It's mornings like this that make boat life feel so rewarding.
Oh, get him! Get him! Get it, boy! Good boy!
Wherever you pray, wherever you lay, I'll be there when you call me. Over rivers and roads, wherever you roam, I'll be there when you call me.
Since being back on board Nandji 2 this year, we've made an effort to slow down and enjoy the beauty of sailing around Thailand. Recently, we've been feeling very thankful with our life on board, and with the anticipation of the year ahead only building, it is nice to be able to slow down for a bit, take a breath and enjoy time together as a family. Whilst travelling with a dog does sometimes make life more difficult, the joy Marley brings to our family is priceless. If it wasn't for wanting to take Marley to the beach in the morning, we might have missed out on a magical sunrise. Tallulah might not have built the biggest sandcastle in history, and a few coconuts might have lived for another day.
He's a coconut killer.
With the preparation of heading into the boatyard in full swing and then the daunting task of a couple solid weeks labour ahead, it is important we find a balance now and enjoy the fun side of boating before the real work begins.
Hop, 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 hop. Big one in the middle. Ah, one more. Go, go, go. Jump, jump, jump.
Have you get? Good boy. Good job. Just another random thing happening in Thailand mornings. I love the Asian countries for that exact reason, hey? Just how random things are at times. Like, I'm sure it's just because we're super clueless and we got no idea exactly what is going on. It is Chinese New Year at the moment, so it probably has something to do with the celebration, but I don't know, man. Just a super weird, random song, just belted out as loud as can be so everyone can hear, and back to quiet again. Oh, I love random stuff, eh? Well, continuing on with all of these plugs, because I didn't get them finished last time. I'm just going to slowly keep chipping away at them as we get ready to go into the boatyard. They'll all be done before we go into the boatyard, which is the key thing, because then I can do all the caulking and the sanding in the yard. But that's still a couple of weeks away, so just steady each day, just keep doing a couple here and there, and another 50 or 60, and by the time this next week's up, they should all be done. Fingers crossed, touch wood. But we just had a lovely little discovery, you know. So when I was ripping out all the aft cabin, found that random drill hole, and it was just a direct way of how water was getting in, and I couldn't figure it out, how it was leaking. But back then I wasn't real digging into the teak deck either. And now that we're pulling out every little plug and removing every little screw, I've pulled out 2 plugs and found a direct hole straight through into on the inside. So that's really good news, because I was afraid that water was leaking in somewhere, drifting through underneath the deck and pooling, and then that was the exit. So like, this is best case scenario. It's coming straight in above and dripping straight through below. So now that that leaky plug is being pulled out, which is another good example of why I'm redoing all of the plugs, because that's just a prime example of how there's water getting through. But now, found these 2 plugs, so sick! I actually left the roof out of this cupboard just for that reason, because there was still that water leak. So I didn't want to cover up any other little holes where there was still water penetrating through. But now that we've found the answer, oh, I'm so happy. I love when I find little problems and have the ability to solve it quick and easy. We're actually going to have use of this cupboard again. See how everything's in plastic just for that reason. It's just got dive fins and life jacket in here. Now we're going to be able to use it again. So just chuck a bit of tape up there so I can fill it with epoxy from above.
It's time to do the laundry. I still don't have a washing machine yet. We still have to do the rigging, so that's going to take priority over everything else. But we have a beautiful sunny day. It's the dry season at the moment, so every day is beautiful sunshine, no clouds, no squalls, nothing like that. So let's get some laundry done. So I got my big bag of laundry here, and I just kind of sort through it, see what might need a scrub before it goes in the tub. The bathtub doubles as our washing machine as well, because I can fit 10 times as much in there than I can in the single bucket. So I do massive load of washing rather than just spending all day out in the sun. So it's a lot easier on this boat, but it's still not quite up to having a washing machine level.
Got a bath mat, you don't need a washing machine.
Shut up.
Crikey! There's a few old crocs out here! Got him!
Stand back, Marley, stand back!
He's a big one. He's a big one.
Wow, he's got a big teeth, Lula.
That's how we do it in Australia. Just gotta watch him stay behind his front grills. That there's where you really got to get him. You got to hold his head down. Oh, you see there, big fella. You're all right, mate.
If he goes to bite, so can't you do it now?
And you just give him one of them ones.
Hi, crocodile.
Big one.
Yeah.
Hang on, mate.
We're loving our new anchorage. There's lots of little restaurants along the beach, lots of umbrellas where you can sit by the water and drink cocktails all day if you want. We've just come to a little restaurant. We're going to have dinner. I've ordered a vegetarian pad thai. What have you got?
I know, just one of those mini stir fries. I've just got some sort of stir fry.
So it's all quite cheap food, and we're sitting here, we've got a couple of soda waters and watching the sunset. So it's pretty cool. the bungs. We've also been waiting on a lot of like quotes and emails and stuff like that, and things have started to progress in the last few days. So we were going to head up north, but it's business time now. We need to get this boat ready to sail. So rather than playtime, we're going to head back into Chalong and start ticking some of these other jobs off, and yeah, start getting this boat ready for the ocean. We got 2 months until we need to leave, and all of this work needs to happen within that time. So rather than playing, we're back to work. We're just doing a casual 8 knots. You really have to mend the helm sailing through here because there's we get quite strong bullets off of the land here, so it can go from like 5 knots of wind to 25 knots like that and then back again. So you have to just be careful with how much sail you have out, and then also be patient in the times when the wind drops out a little bit because it's going to pick back up again.
That's one thing as well we have to be like pretty cautious of when we are sailing around. Not just the fishing boats themselves, but here in Thailand, it is highly illegal of course, but they have 2 boats when they're sort of tracking next to each other. They're dragging a net between each other, so they got, each boat is attached to the same net. And you know, they're quite a distance apart, so sometimes you think that, oh, I'll just split between the 2 as you're sailing because that's your course, but then you're like, well, actually, there's a net there, and these guys aren't stopping for no one. So, yeah, avoid it. One thing we noticed since we got back to the boat after our little trip away back to Australia was when we were motoring away from Yacht Haven, we were puffing a bit of black smoke. So black smoke's sort of unburnt fuel. So I think that we need to service the injectors. So I reckon there might be too much fuel getting squirted in there, and it's not all the time, it's more just like when you're giving it some curry or backing off into reverse or something like that. It's just that instant when you're giving it a lot of power, so you're pumping it in and you're giving the motor a lot of fuel, we're pumping out, it's squirting out a bit of black smoke like this. Back it off. Do it again. Oh, hello, princess.
Hi.
What's your name?
Tallulah.
How old are you, Tallulah?
I'm 3.
Where do you live?
I'm 5.
No way! Do you want to go to the beach?
Yeah.
Should we take Molly to the beach?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, big crab there.
It's a big mama crab. Hey, do you think that's mum or dad? Yeah. Or is that grandma? Oh, that's mum and dad.
Up you get, buddy! Good boy. Alright, it's time to get positive about this deck. I've probably been whinging the whole time because it's been such a long and monotonous, drawn out process, but I'm on the last little corner. You know, I started out thinking I'd just replace a few, the ones that really needed it, and then as I sort of got into it, I realised I was doing 80% of it anyway, so I'm like, well, I've got to go back over and just pull out every single screw and recap every single area. So that's what I've done, and we're down to this one last little patch here. A couple of hours a day has kept the doctors away and kept Yosh a little bit happy. But you know, it's been a very long time, but we're at the very end now, so there's just this patch of screws. And then once we've done the deck, I do have the sail track still to do along here. So that raised edge bit that's sort of protecting you from kicking the sail track, I guess that's why it's there. We're not going to replace them, we'll just leave the sail track straight on top of the deck. There'll be a couple of screws under there that we'll have to pull out as well. But we're near the end. There is light at the end of the tunnel and I feel really good about that.
4 more to the cause.
If you are wondering why I have Bonita's sarong, it's because this is my sun protection. I've moved on from the umbrella into the land of sarong. In the last video, a lot of people also asked the question of, I'm taking all the screws out and I'm not putting anything back in, how can that be correct? Well, to answer that is that the teak was actually stuck down originally. So through the Tiana forums that I've learned, they use some really strong sticky black adhesive like a Sikaflex or something, but just on steroids, because everyone seems to complain that that was the hardest thing to get off when they ripped their teak decks off, was the adhesive glue that they used to start with. So the screws that had gone in through the deck into the core was just total 100% overkill. I guess back when they did it in the 90s, late 90s, that they just didn't know the strength of what they were using, and what they were using was pretty gnarly stuff, so it all comes across. So all the teak, there's only been a couple of little areas, just mainly around the edges on, say, the hatch, where the teak has actually come up, and I've just epoxied all that down. And then by removing the screw and drilling down into the fiberglass a little bit, I feel that by putting the epoxy in and then bunging it, I reckon that's sort of capping the teak into the deck as well. So I really can't see how there should be any teak coming up after I finish this. So I hope that answers your question. One thing we have done the whole way through is that every time I pull the screw out, it goes into this plastic bottle. So I wonder how many screws there are in this. How about we run a competition? Guess in the comments below how many screws do you reckon is in this container. Winner gets a Nandji shirt.